Hello my friends, welcome back to our channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking to you about some of the things I wish we knew before we were on our trying to conceive journey. If you're new here, hello, my name is Nicole. On this channel, I typically talk about all things homemaking and share vlogs with me and my husband and our life here in England. Now, I don't know how I'm going to roll these videos out, but we have been on our trying to conceive journey for quite a few months now, and I'm pre-filming some of these videos, and I have been filming the whole entire process, and I don't know when I'm going to share these videos with you. However, I did think it was really smart for me to sit down and talk to you about some of the things that I wish we knew beforehand, especially as it has taken some time for us to conceive. So the first thing I want you to know, especially if you're not at the point of trying to conceive just yet, is this can take time. I have always had a weird fear that I won't be able to have kids, and oddly enough, Paul has had that fear as well. And so with that, I don't know why, I just never thought that this would be easy, and it's not like I've been proclaiming that over my life. However, I've just felt like that, and so now here we are, and it's coming to be a substantial amount of time. We're still in the normal zone, but not for quite much longer. And yeah, I think that's the biggest thing that I want most people to know is it doesn't always happen right away. And I feel like for me personally, it took me to get to a point of even feeling like this was the right time. I know it's never the right time, and then finally you kind of process that in your brain and you're like, okay, let's do this, and then it doesn't happen. And I think Paul had a little bit of a similar experience where it was like, you know, we didn't want to do certain things right away, and then now we're like, maybe we should have started sooner. The next thing that I wish people would know before they're on their trying to conceive journey is your period can and will play you. During this process, there has been 2 times now where my period just didn't come, and my period is never late. It is never late. And so obviously when you miss a period or it comes extremely late, you then start thinking like, okay, I'm pregnant. I read on a few websites like it is normal for your period to change about 1 to 2 times a year, and it's only until you start monitoring these things that you notice. So I feel like a part of the emotion that women get caught up in when they're trying to conceive is they then are late, and then they're like, I'm never late, this has to be it, and your period will play you. Okay, so the next thing that I wish people knew before they were on their trying to conceive journey is that your hormones fluctuate, and therefore there are certain things that you feel at certain times of the month. So for example, I believe it's like the hormone progesterone, I feel like I'm saying that wrong, but I believe there's certain parts of your cycle where you have more progesterone in you, and therefore like there can be certain parts of your body that are more sensitive, you can be more bloated, you can have a little bit more tenderness in your breasts, things like that. And that is normal to have those feelings, but you're heightened to those feelings when you're trying to conceive. So then you think, oh, my boobs are sore, I must be pregnant. And then you're not pregnant. And you feel crazy, and you feel like, well, am I just making up these feelings, or did I actually feel it? And I guess that's what I want you to know if you're at the beginning of your trying to conceive process, is that you're not crazy. You are feeling certain things, but number 1, you probably weren't this hyper aware to them before, and 2, your body goes through like hormone changes throughout the month, and therefore you are gonna feel certain things, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's pregnancy. So the next thing that I want to talk about in regards to trying to conceive and what I wish people would know is that I think that people should remember to live their life and don't press pause. For me personally, when we first started trying, I had put on a little bit of weight, and then in my head I was like, oh, what's the point of like pushing through trying to like shed all this weight, and then I'll probably get pregnant next month. And that has happened month after month after month after month, and then finally this current month that we're in, when I'm filming this, I lost some weight. I lost 10 pounds, and then my period didn't show up, and I was like, of course now it's not going to show up when I'm finally like doing things to lose weight. So yeah, just know that you can definitely end up falling into a pattern of pressing pause and like not planning that vacation or not going and doing that thing because you're thinking of what might happen. But again, bringing it back to the first point, is that it might take some time, and then if you're pressing pause on things, you could be pausing for a really long time, and then that just adds to the stress of it. Okay, so the next thing that I wish people knew is you will find something something online to confirm what you're feeling, no matter what. So like take it with like a piece of comfort, but then also take it with a grain of salt, because you will find someone who is going through what you are going through, and then you can then think that that's a confirmation of you being pregnant, or that's what's happening to you, and that's probably not the case. Like, just because something happened to somebody else doesn't mean that that's what is happening to you. So for example, for me personally, when I was missing my periods for a really long time, longer than I ever have before, and you know, I think part of the thing is that you can put all of like this information into an app, and you might be thinking like, well, I might be emotionally invested in this, but the app isn't emotionally invested in this. And so for me personally, I recently just, my period was almost a week late, and so I was taking tests, and the test kept on coming back negative. I have no problem of accepting a test being negative, but when my period's not showing up, and it's always like clockwork, it was throwing me off. But by me then Googling and YouTubing negative test but no period, negative test but still pregnant, it then confirmed to me I could still be pregnant. And then it almost gave me false hope, when in actual fact my period was just late. So I think on one hand it's nice to know that you're not alone in this situation, but I truly do believe like 9 times out of 10 usually your period is just gonna be late and it will come, and you're probably not pregnant. Like those situations are the exception to the rule, if that makes sense. So the next thing that I want to talk about is that, especially as like a woman who, you know, is a stay-at-home wife and a woman that prides herself in being a homemaker, it is so easy to not really feel like you have purpose or value or worth in the household when you're not getting pregnant. And so I have a lot of value and identity in my job and my work, but be it that I love taking care of my home and my husband, and I do consider myself to be a homemaker even though I still do work from home, I have found it like really challenging to not be able to conceive in the time frame that I was wanting, because I'm just finding that like it's kind of like, what is my purpose in the household? And you kind of feel like you're not where you should be, or you're not fulfilling the role that you should be. And again, this, you might be watching this and might not like resonate with that at all, but I'm talking to the women out there that feel and identify with being a homemaker. I think it's very easy to feel like you have no value and you have no worth in the household, and it's really challenging. But in actual fact, you do. You do still have value in the household, and you still can be a homemaker even though you don't have kids yet. All right, now the last thing that I wish that we did or we knew before we started trying to conceive is I wish we went for a checkup with a doctor, or like went to go see some type of fertility specialist, because I feel like we can go do these things now. However, I do feel like if we were to go do these things now, we're so emotionally invested, we're so wrapped up in it all, and that makes the situation so much more emotionally charged, where I do kind of wish that like maybe right after we got married, and we waited a few months to even start trying, and then the pandemic happened and stuff, and I wish during when we got married to when we actually started trying that we went to see a doctor, had a checkup. We would have probably had to pay for those things privately, but I do wish that we did that, so we were equipped with the knowledge, that we maybe knew where we were starting, instead of just sitting there wondering and now kind of worried about things. We definitely can go do tests and stuff now. We probably will go do stuff like that. However, it's now something scary. It's now something daunting. Like, I need to go talk to a doctor, because I should have a doctor here by this point, but that's a different topic. But I'm like, oh, I don't want to have to go do this with a doctor because I have to. Do you know what I mean? And so there's just a little bit more pressure on it, because now we're going through this, and that's why we're coming to you instead of like being proactive. Does that make sense? Anyways, my friends, that is it for this quick video. If you had certain things that you wish you knew when you were trying to conceive, I would love if you left it for us in the comment section down below. I think it's like really good and healthy place to have a conversation, especially if you are on this journey yourself, and just kind of to know that you are not alone. I think that's one of the cool things about some of the videos and stuff that I have been watching, is that you read the comments and it's nice to know that you're not alone. So yeah, anyways, my friends, thanks so much for watching. I hope to see you in our next one if you've hit that subscribe button, and yeah, I'll talk to you soon.